Hey, welcome to another episode of Are You For Real? My goal for this podcast is to celebrate women and gender non-conforming beings in business, inspiring us to be our best and share stories with some special humans. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge that this podcast has been recorded and edited on stolen land, and that sovereignty was never ceded. I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of Wadandi Budja and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. Always was, always will be, Aboriginal land. My next guest is a bit of a community hero, starting a popular gym in Dunsborough, Western Australia, called The Movement, which quickly became an institution and a popular gym spot with not only locals, but anyone who passes through the Southwest. With passion and drive, Shelby continuously pushes herself to evolve as a business owner, expanding the gym on not one, not two, but 3 separate occasions, and most recently transforming the gym experience into an online app. Please welcome the incredible Shelby Foster. Okay, welcome Shelby to Are You For Real? My name is Meg and my pronouns are she, her. Would you mind introducing your pronouns?
Yeah, I am Shelby and I'm also she, her.
Beautiful. Welcome today. I've been so excited to interview you from day dot because you are a powerhouse.
Oh, that's very kind. But I'm excited.
I know, it's good.
Yeah.
I guess I just wanted to kick off and ask you, how did your fitness career get started?
I have always been into sport. Since I have 2 older brothers, very competitive family of sporting genes. And so team sports was a big one for me. And all through growing up, I played all different kinds of sports. And then as I was going through career and did a bit of marketing, was in hospitality, I came down to Dunsborough in Western Australia and I started working for a company called Samudra, which was a yoga school, vegan cafe, retail store, and I really started to see a different side of holistic fitness, so through the yoga side. And then my husband, Cal and I, there's a couple. We're going to a gym and we'd get home every session and we're like, we can do this better. We can do this better. And I think it was both of us coming from sports and then coming into a community like Dunsborough, which is a really small community, we started to grow this idea that it didn't have to be just a gym. It could be like a community where people hang out and you get to feel like you belong to something. And so that's where it became the idea of a gym kind of community centre type of thing is what we've always wanted to create. And so we both did our Cert 3 and 4 in fitness and jumped straight into some boot camps on the Dunsborough Oval. And we thought we would just kind of see how it went. And after about a month, they were getting really busy. Wow. And then the old building that I worked for in Samudra was closing down, and he asked if I would jump back on board and help them market the areas to lease out. And I was like, we'll take it. We'll do it. And so we moved in as the gym.
That's so crazy. So it was literally the universe again, just kind of bringing you a decision, and you had to put all your feet in.
Yeah, totally. It was just it all happened very fast, and I just feel like it did for that reason. It was so meant to be, and here we are.
Yes, I love that. And so fitness was obviously always an interest for you. And did you think you would do it professionally before?
I'm not sure. I always actually, when I was at school, thought I would be a sports teacher.
Oh, okay.
So I was
quite aligned.
Yeah, quite aligned. And so I thought that that's where I would go. And after having a gap year off and traveling and doing all those things, I just wasn't sure of how I could tie that in together and if I did want to become a teacher. And then I think the more I started going to the gym and trialing functional fitness as a way of exercising, I was like, I could teach people this. I understand it. It feels natural. It feels like what I should be doing. And even though we didn't own that gym that we were going to, people were coming to us for a lot of advice on how they should be moving, what they should be doing outside of the gym. And it all felt very natural. So we kind of went in from there.
And Cal, did he come from a bit of a fitness background as well?
Yeah, so Cal's mum, Gay, is a personal trainer, and she's had her own gyms in Busselton and down in the southwest. And so he's only known his mum being a personal trainer, and she's amazing. She works for us now. And she kind of gave us the advice. I mean, when we were doing the boot camps on the Oval, she gave us like her old equipment to be able to start off with. Yeah, Gay, we love you. where would we be without Gay?
Honestly, she's such a hoot. I love her.
Yeah, so he's always known that fitness side, and he started competing in CrossFit when we were still at the old gym and got really good really quickly, which is very annoying, but super proud of him. Yeah. But he was amazing, and he just has it in him. It was just such a natural thing for him to compete, and in doing that, he just learnt so much about the functional fitness side of things that it just aligned for the two of us very naturally.
I love that. And it must have been such an interesting journey doing that business as a family. Can you talk about how you sort of navigated that? Do you guys have, I don't know, I guess boundaries in place when you come home? Let's not talk about the movement when we come home.
We had to create boundaries, and it took us a little while, to be honest. When we first started out and we didn't have children, we could talk about it all day, every day, and we could put our whole lives into it. And then as we started to grow and know that for this to be sustainable, we had to create some kind of boundary. So our main boundary is, if someone doesn't want to talk about it outside of work hours, they don't have to talk about it. So that's our main boundary. So if we both are really in the flow of it and we both really want to talk about it and do those things after hours then we will do it. But if someone is ready to switch off and they just need to be away from it, we have to really respect that. So that was our main boundary, and that worked really well.
That's good.
Yeah. And then the next one is creating our roles within the business. So I think when we first started off, both of us wanted to do everything. We both want to be in charge. We both want to do this and both want to do that. And I think it was less than a year in, we're like, this isn't going to work. Yes. We're just going to butt heads. You are very good at these things and I'm very good at these things. So let's split the roles. And they've changed, definitely, over the time. They've changed. But we started, when we did that, everything seemed to work really well.
Playing to your strength.
Play to your strength, 100%.
Yeah. And shutting off would be so important for you as well. And you guys are doing so much at the minute. So you're opening a new gym, which is how much bigger than the
It's double the size.
Yeah. That's so exciting. And also starting an app. Yes. So talk us through these projects, because this is so exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's so exciting. So we've always had the vision for what we've wanted with the movement. And we grew. We took over the space the front space that we're in now. So we have 2 rooms at the current gym. We took over the front space when we first started and outgrew that. So we knocked through a wall and then went into another room and then knocked out another wall to create an office.
And then you're just no more space.
There's no more space here. And we had this vision for people being able to hang out and stay around after class and do all these different things within our hub. And so the time came where we thought, this is the time for us to do it. So we jumped. Cal's a little bit more risky than I am. I'm a bit more of the safe player. Even knocking through the back wall, he was like, it's going to be worth it. So
it's good to have both, though, I think. You probably rein him in at times, and likewise, he probably pushes you a little bit up.
100%. So it works. It works really well. So this space came along for us to jump over, and so we literally just took it and went for it, and it's about a month away from opening, which is so exciting. We've got a smoothie bar going in. We've got our favourite coffee shop in town jumping in as well. Yes. So and a few little exciting little projects that we're also working on that will all come to life as the venue opens up. So yeah, that part is all very exciting. Cal's the main construction manager of all of this. So he's deep in it at the moment, and then I come in when the styling and the organisation and all of that comes on. So that will be my part more so closer to the opening date. So we teamed that at the same time as we decided to create an app.
Which is wild, but also wildly exciting.
Yeah. So I think even we've been open since 2015, and I think we've always tried to, I don't like the word busy, but we've always tried to be doing more. We've always wanting to be learning, growing, learning about our members, growing our business and learning what's out there. And so when we kind of came to a little bit of a stagnant place, we were like, okay, we need to make a change here. So we add more and more. And sometimes we might tip it over a little bit onto the scale, but we love what we do so much that I don't think it comes we don't get tired of it, A, because we've created those boundaries, and 2, because we just love it and we want to give our staff and our members literally the best facility that they could have. So that's the goal with that one. And then one of our coaches, it was actually Adam Levi, that came up to us and he was like, you guys should do an app and I want to help you do it. So he said, this is what I think you should do. And we had always thought about how can we reach more people without having to leave the place that we love. So people have asked us, are you going to open in Perth? Are you going to open a second venue? And we nearly did. And then we're like, but we're going to have to be there.
Yeah, exactly. And like you guys are such a big part of the movement experience, you know, so it's like hard. It would take a while to build that team that you would have trusted to the degree that it is right now.
Totally. Yeah. And we have and there are franchises that work amazingly out there that we have seen. For us, we just want to be a part of it so much that we would split our time. And then when you split your time, do you actually give it all that it needs to be? So we thought, how can we help more people as well as stay in the place that we love with our family and not be split from all of that? And the app was the solution. So hopefully when this is going to be launched in maybe 2 weeks, then how can we help as many people feel like the people that come to our gym feel?
Yes. And what can people expect from the app?
It's a community. So I think the difference between our gym of what we try to do compared to maybe other gyms, maybe there are people that do it, is that it's giving someone a sense of belonging. So a part of our passion is if there is some bad things going on in someone's life, whatever it might be, we want to make their life better so that the time that they spend with us is going to make them feel better. So in the app, we want to do the same thing. So we want to give you workouts, we want to make you laugh, we want to make you do some mindfulness, eat well, all of these things that are going to make you feel better. So that's everything that you're going to get in the app. You're going to get exercise, nutrition, mindfulness, and hopefully that community side where you can feel like you belong to something, just like the people that do come to our gym.
Oh, on that note, can we address the cult rumors?
Yes. The cult rumors used to make me so sad.
Oh.
They did. When I first heard it, I was like, oh my God. Now I laugh.
It is so good. I mean, it's a compliment.
It is. So it took me a few years to see that. But I feel like the cult rumors come from because people join when they move here, when they're having a crappy time, and all of a sudden they're supported by people who like the same exercise, like to hang out down. We live in Dunsborough, and a Dunsborough person has to like the beach because we live on the beach. We're not in a city, so it's not a vast, culturally it's not extremes. Yeah. And so it's a type of person that lives in Dunsborough, right? Mm-hmm. And so when you move here, you come to a gym and you get to know the people, and then all of a sudden you're hanging out, going for a cocktail, going to the beach, having coffee, and all.
Coffee after class.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're your best friends, and because you have this sense of belonging and they understand you. So we're a cult of people that like to exercise, have coffee after, and like each other enough to hang out even outside of the gym.
I want to be a part of the cult. I am part of the cult. Big time. I'm part of the cult, baby.
And I'm so happy you're part of the cult.
Yeah, it honestly, I moved here from Melbourne and I knew no one in Dunsborough. And then I came to the movement and literally all of my friends, pretty much, bar maybe 5, are all from the gym. But it's such a beautiful community that you've cultivated. And I think you guys should be really proud of that because it is so special.
It's what we are most proud of. So I think there is gyms market themselves on weight loss. Yeah. They market themselves on strength gains, which are all great things to market your business on and to have a business for, because that ultimately you want people to be healthy. And if losing weight is going to make them healthier, then that's awesome. But for us, we see it, and we see it as clear as day. Someone comes in and they don't know anybody. And then within a week, they've made a buddy. Yeah. And then they're kind of made another buddy. And then I see after a weekend warrior class, someone inviting someone to have coffee. And then you can see it. You can see the happiness that brings when you get invited to coffee, and everybody does it.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's not a particular person that was like always inviting people to come along. It's everybody. It's like it's a contagious feeling that, and seeing the relationships and the friendships and everything that have started in there is by far what we are most proud of.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm curious, along your journey, like what have you had to overcome any barriers or challenges throughout your career?
Yeah, definitely. Financially, for sure. We were two kids when Carl and I decided that we wanted to do this, that had a big dream of opening a venue that we only dreamt of at that time. And we didn't have a financial backer that was going to give us $100,000 worth of equipment to start a gym. So we started with a few barbells, one rower. It's so expensive. And unlike like a yoga school, you have a venue where you have a certain amount of mats that fit in that room. When you have a gym, people get stronger, you have more people, you need more weights, you need more of this and more of that, and it's a lot harder to pay for that. That's expensive. So we had to work really hard to afford all of that, which we did. We just decided that this is 100% what we wanted to do, and there was going to be no stopping us in being able to do that. So we saved, and we have never relied on an investor or anything to come and help us through that. So definitely that's had its challenges, and we've had to sacrifice a lot along the way, but we think it's paying off.
It is, yeah. Like look at the growth, it's incredible.
Yeah, and I think the other one is, and lots of business owners I think will totally understand, but staff can be really challenging. Yeah. We're so lucky to have the team that we do, and we appreciate them. And I think as a business owner, if you have good staff, you have to appreciate and show them that appreciation. But it hasn't always been like that. We've had some people come through that don't quite fit our mould, and we are different. You don't just take a class and then say see ya, and you don't see those people again. And in a small community like ours, you coach a class and then you see them at Coles, and then you see them at this restaurant and whatever. So it is something that they have to live by, and I think the team that we have now really understand that, and we've given them and we've grown with them and given them the freedom that they need to grow as well in their own businesses. And I think that's a big part of being able to have successful staff, is allowing them to grow and not kind of hindering their growth because of your product.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. What does that managerial side look like for you? Do you have any strategies for anyone who is maybe managing staff, or something that's worked really well for you?
Yeah, I think it definitely comes down to asking them what they want out of all of this and allowing them to find that. So a lot of our personal trainers, we've set up a way that they have their own businesses, and because they're going to love their business more than, and that's the way that it goes, is someone's going to love their own business more than they love your business, and no one's going to love your business like you do. Yes. So I think understanding that and letting them have their own businesses within our facility has allowed them to really keep their passion of being able to grow it however they want to grow it within our walls. So giving them and asking them what they want out of this career, because being a personal trainer is challenging work in terms of you're one-on-one with someone a lot, and you get to know them, and it's not just about the training session. So having that growth for them has been really important, and it's, I think, what's worked. And to create the team that we've had now and have had them for such a long time, that's definitely, that allowing them to grow has been the biggest thing.
And what about a highlight of the career so far? Obviously community is something that's so beautiful to watch, but has there been a moment where you're proud of yourself, just being that?
I think recently when the new sign went up at the new gym, that was and we're not even in it yet, but Cal had been doing so much of the construction of the new gym, and I was really nervous about, I've been in this building of our current gym for 11 years. Wow. So going over to the new gym, I was scared to leave my comfort zone. And then as the construction was going up, I was like, this is such a cool place. This is going to be amazing. But I hadn't allowed myself to really enjoy it. And then where we are currently, we're not on the street front, so we don't have a whole lot of signage. And when the sign went up, I was like, oh my God, it's real.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, and I'm just so excited to give people that facility. That was probably a huge highlight for me, yeah.
Oh, beautiful. And I guess I wanted to talk about body image as well, because I feel like that's an important conversation in the world of fitness. How do you, hold space for empowering women in particular, or anyone gender nonconforming, in fitness without kind of feeding into a toxic narrative?
It's challenging and emotional. I feel like it upsets me quite a lot to see, especially through social media, the confusing messages that are out there. It's like, don't eat too much, don't do this, like eat this way of life, exercise like this. And I'm like, people, women, males, non-binary people, everyone is getting told so many different things of what they should be doing. And I was someone through Instagram who have always tried to have it as a celebration of our clients and our members, and that's what it was. I've never posted a before and after of someone's image, because I'm like, what if someone's before image is someone else's after image? And their before image is something that someone's been aspiring to be like that can't, and that's their before. I'm like, I never want to be a part of that. I never want to be a part of the comparison. And so it had always been a celebration of clients. And then about 6 months ago, I was like, gosh, am I still part of the confusion by celebrating? Like, what if someone's at home and they can't work out, and then they're seeing all these people working out? I'm like, am I still part of this crazy thing that's happening where people are told what they shouldn't do? So I kind of take that into consideration. And as a business, and you definitely know that you have to have social media. It is a big part. It's been our number one platform for people joining the gym. So we have to have it. Mm-hmm. And I think it comes down to putting people on there that are comfortable, and showing a side of our business that will help people understand what we actually do. And it's not joining in on the fads of like, you should look like this, you should train like this. We are for some people and we're not for other people. And that is maybe took me a little while to understand, because I think when we first opened, I thought we could be for everybody. Yeah. And then maybe not. Maybe people don't like doing what we do, and maybe they like just doing Pilates, and maybe even though I see the importance of strength training for bones and health and all of these things, maybe someone doesn't like doing that. So I think that the important thing is that everybody should do what makes them feel good. And if you're doing a type of exercise that isn't making you feel good, you shouldn't be doing that, rather than being like, I have to do that. Or if you eat in a certain way and it isn't making you feel good, like you decide to go vegan and you're constantly tired and you don't feel well doing that, maybe that's not the way for you to eat. Yeah. Maybe it is. Maybe you feel really great doing that. So I feel like my main message is that it's not a one size fits all. It's like, it's what fits you, what makes you feel really good, what gives you energy, what makes you feel happy, all of those things that's the way you should be exercising.
Yeah, and I think the community probably fits into that as well, like that participation and like a group experience, and you're all there for each other as well. I think that probably helps a lot. And yeah, I think the social media that you guys do though is really empowering, and it doesn't have that kind of language, which I think is really unique and different. So
yeah, I see it. I see so many, and I think the hard part is some pages on social media that you've seen that are influencers or that have fitness businesses online, they are coming from influencers who have amazing genetics that are social influencers that people want to know about, and they look amazing, but that doesn't mean that type of exercise is going to make you look like them. So I think that's the hard part for a lot of, especially women, I feel like, in that way, because we see the sports bras and we see the abs and we see a certain way that we look, and we are so many different shapes and sizes that I might do the exercise that she's telling me to do, but there is no way I'm ever going to look like her. Yes. So we're not doing it to look like the person that created it. We're doing it to feel good and to be the healthiest version we can be. Yeah.
I think that's really beautiful. What would you say has been the realest piece of advice that you've ever been given?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll start with the unrealist. I think when I was younger, my mum said something along the lines of, and like, I love my mum to death, but she said something along the lines of, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And I was like, whoa, she's like, and we are not that. And I was like, I am going to prove to you that hard work and that you can do anything that you can. And my mum does believe that. I don't even know, where it came from, but
It's just an old mantra, like that you're spoon-fed all the time.
totally. And people do get told things like that, or like, that person is going to get that because of blah, blah, blah. But I am so determined to show that hard work and passion and all of the other amazing factors that you can put into something can make you become successful. And whether that's through our app, through our gym, and I feel like the success for me has just seeing the people that come into our gym every day of like, that's successful. Like I could have $5 in my bank or $100,000, but like the people that I see at the end of the classes that just feel so good about themselves, I'm like, that's way better than whatever success you can get with just a monetary value.
I love it. And I had a question there. It's lost me. I'll have a think. It'll come back to me. What is the realist piece?
Oh yeah, realist piece of after. Okay. I think that exactly that, right? Hard work pays off, and I think, and that someone told me, and this is good. It ties in with that. Is you can do it all. You can be a mum. You can be a business owner. You can be a good wife and a good friend, because I think we sometimes are under the idea that we can't be a mum and a successful business owner, or can we balance it out of friendships, relationship with a partner, or those kinds of things. So I think the advice that someone gave me, that you can do it all, has stuck with me, and that's probably been the best, because I'm on a strong mission to prove that you can do it, and you can have a honest, healthy marriage. You can be a present mum. You can be strong and fit, and you can have the best friends and supportive people around you, and still have time for yourself as well. So I do truly believe that you can do it all.
Oh, you're so inspirational, Shelby. No, it's so beautiful to like hear that and see you thriving and like all the success of your business. Like it really is so inspirational.
Yeah, I think it takes a while. I mean, we opened in 2015, and there's definitely been times where I'm like, is this all too hard? I'm like, I've got 2 kids now. I'm like, can I balance this and do this as well? And I really do believe that you can do it. You can spend the time putting in to all of those different things that are important to you, and then they can all be successful.
How do you get out of a negative headspace if you are veering down that path? What's your self-care look like?
I think it comes down to so Cal and I have a very strict schedule. We have a calendar that we share that has everything allocated in it. And in that, we have allocated alone time every single week. So Thursday afternoon is mine, and I know that 2:00 is going to come around, and I'm going to go and take myself to do whatever I need to make myself feel better. And I think when I've been in a negative mindset, it's usually when I've skipped that. Like I'm like, oh, too much work to do. Yeah. I'm just going to go miss my alone time this week, and I'm just going to keep working. And then I do find when I do those things, or I don't spend time with my friends or something that's going to fill my cup up, then I get into a little bit more of a negative, or I can't do this is too hard, or I'm not the person for this to be able to do this, or something like that. But when I do all of the things that make me feel good, then I get myself out of that.
That's good. Yeah, I guess it's that idea of like, you can't, like if you're not filling your own cup, you can't then give it out to others. So, and that would be so big, managing a gym and holding space for all these people in the community.
Yeah, I think so. So it's like, whenever I feel like my cup is getting low, it needs to be topped up, and then I can get back to it. Thursdays, don't contact.
What do you like to do on your Thursday?
Even if it's going for a walk, or I get an appointment, so getting your hair done, all of those things that I know are going to go, having a cup of tea or a coffee with a friend or something at those times, or just going down and sitting on the beach with no phone, no music, anything, that for me is just massive. So I think especially during the summer, Thursday you'll find me silencing at there. And I think being around people in a job that I do a lot of talking, it's nice on Thursday afternoons when I can just be as quiet as possible.
Totally.
Really nice.
Go inward.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Shelbs. It was so nice to have you on the podcast, and so inspired by you. I can't wait to see the app. I can't wait to see the new gym. And I just feel like it's such a big part of the community here in Dunsborough, and you guys should be really proud.
Thank you so much. And I'm so excited for your podcast and listening to everyone else you get on here.
Yes, it's been a bit of a scary journey, but I feel like I'm on the same train of you, just like motivated. I had the thought the other day, I was like, I refused to give up on myself. And I was like, you know, it's scary. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to like forget some questions. And I'm like, you know what?
Who cares?
Like, just human, like just a human.
And that's how you get better. Practice and making those mistakes. Yeah. Make mistakes and then you get back on.
Yes, get back on the horse.
That's right.
Yes. Well, thank you so much.
No worries.
Where can people find you?
Oh, they can on social media. We are the Movement Fitness and Wellbeing, Movement Fitness, and the Movement Southwest is our Instagram. So jump on there.
And the app?
The app is the Movement Online, TMO, and it should be out hopefully in the next 2 weeks. Yay!
Go Shelby. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
And that's the end of that one. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Are You For Real? As a startup podcast, it really does mean so much to have your support. If you did enjoy this episode, it would mean the world to me if you would share it with any of your friends, and even more so if you wrote me a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and see you next time.